Welcome to the opening round of the 2020 Jobfixers Belgian Rally Championship. This is the Rally van Haspengouw, and these are the main drivers for this opening round. No fewer than 17 R5 cars at the start of this opening round of arguably one of the best national championships in Europe. Stages on very slippery conditions here in Haspengouw, with lots of favourites, and one of them is of course reigning champion Adrian Furnemont. He's at the wheel of a Skoda Fabia R5. As we said, difficult conditions for this season opener, and Furnemont has told us that he will take it very carefully in these opening stages, even though he has number one on the door.
Droite 60 à fond, et 80, droite 30 à fond, et 90, gauche 20, bref, sur droite 40 plus Milon, gauche 20, bref, sur droite 40 plus Milon.
Third time in the opening stage for Furnemont. This is Chris Princeton. Princeton changed cars during the course of the season last year, and he has changed again to a Citroën C3 R5 of the DG Sports Workshop. Princeton is one of the favourites here, 5 times winner in the Haspengouw. Sebastian Bedouet was fighting for the national Belgian title until the last stage last year, and this time he wants to get it. The protege of Freddie Loix is at the wheel of a Fabia R5 Evo. Another Fabia R5 Evo in the hands of Guilain de Mévius. The older of the Mévius brothers has always been a front runner, but never a winner. But he starts off with the best time in the opening stage. Vincent Verschuren has changed to a VW Polo R5 for this year. The former Belgian Rally champion had a mediocre season last year and wants to do better this year. Another driver in another car, Grégoire Munster, a former Belgian Pirelli Junior champion, is now one of the official Hyundai Junior drivers, and he's at the wheel of the new i20 R5. He has a steep learning curve in front of him. Not this man though, he's used to this Citroën. It's the other de Mévius, Guillaume de Mévius, and he's just marginally slower than his brother William Wagner, a Belgian driver who mainly drives in France.
Allez, ça va. 150 mètres. Quitte Faster. Quitte Faster en droite 10.
Wagner is here to prepare for the French Rally Championship. Guillaume Dillet is back from a long absence at the wheel of a Fabia R5, not the Evo version, that will be for later this season. And here's Niels Rijnvoet, young driver who starts the season with lots of ambition, but it goes horribly wrong very early in the rally for Rijnvoet.
Niels Rijnvoet, het was een hele korte...
Niels, has been a very short rally for you. Yes, exactly at 1k from the end of the first stage. We broke a rim by hitting the edge of the road, and there was too much damage on the car to be able to continue, so we had to retire, unfortunately. Bad luck for Rijnvoet. Lots of spectators at the Haspengouw Rally, and of course it's a round of the Pirelli Junior Rally Championship as well. This is the Peugeot of Valentin Vertommen, a newcomer in the Pirelli Junior Championship, and this is Charles Munster, Grégoire's younger brother. What are your ambitions for this season? Well, we have to get a maximum of points here, and if possible, we can take the win. Favorite here in the Pirelli Juniors is Gilles Pic, last year's runner-up. And here you can see how slippery some of the stages were.
Ja, dat denk ik wel, dat de druk...
Yes, I think we're one of the favorites now since we finished runner-up last year, and Grégoire has moved to the 2.5 car. but we don't really mind being one of the favorites.
Favorieten te horen.
The Haspengouw is a round of the Belgian Historic Championship as well. And here's Björn 6 with his BMW M3, and look at how the rear of that car steps out on these slippery roads. After the first loop of 4 stages, 6 is in second in Historic, just behind this man Dirk de Veu with his Ford Sierra RS Cosworth. And even though it's a 4-wheel drive, you have to take just a bit back here and then try and continue for Dirk de Veu, leading after the first loop by some 35 seconds. With the Porsches, here's Glenn Janssens. He's used to historic Porsche. He's trying a new model this year.
Is het moeilijk met de Porsche op zo'n...
Is it difficult with a Porsche on these conditions? Well, it's easier than the historic Porsche. It's a lot more powerful, of course, but it's also a lot heavier. So you have to be careful to find the right braking points. We can't brake too early, but certainly not too late. So it's difficult to find the right balance. But we're not looking at the times here. We will take this rally and the next one, the TAC rally, as a bit of a learning curve, and then we'll try to be more at the front, starting with the Wallonie rally. Here's Romain Delay with another Porsche, the 997 GT3. Difficult to keep it in the right track. Still, Delay is in second after the first loop, second in the GT category, that is. And here's the leader in that category, Günter Mollens, at the wheel of his new 991.
Hoe is het met een Porsche op dit parcours?
How is it to drive a Porsche in these conditions? It's very difficult, of course. It's very tricky, it's very greasy and slippery. It's difficult to get the power to the floor, so we have to be very careful. Back to the front now, and Sebastian Bedouin is already out of the running for victory. In stage 2, he was surprised by these slippery conditions and slid into a ditch. Here we have an onboard camera from Vincent Verschuren, and there is the Skoda of Bedouin.
On arrivait sur un freinage fort glissant.
We came to a braking position. It was very slippery, and more slippery than we thought, and all the wheels locked up, and we tried to take the corner by pulling the handbrake, but still we ended up in a ditch and we were stuck. He lost some 13 minutes better, so he's out of the running. And look at this one. This is Maxime Porty. He had a very good rally in the Conrads Rally last year, finding the going very difficult here though. After the first loop, he's still inside the top 10 though, in 9th, just behind Guillaume Dillet. Vincent Verschuren finds the going tough at the wheel of his VW Polo as well. Has to learn the car again. He was driving a Polo a couple of years ago, but this is a different beast, of course. And Verschuren is in 7th after the first loop of 4 stages.
Het is een totaal andere wagen om mee te rijden.
It's a completely different car to drive. I think it has a lot of potential, but I need a bit of more experience to completely exploit it. It's a different way to drive the car. So we're trying to finish this rally course. It's not the most easy one, but we try not to make mistakes, get a maximum of mileage, and try to get better along the way. Grégoire Munster is getting to grips with his Hyundai as well. And he's in the 6th position with co-driver Louis Lucas. Hyundai made in the workshop of his dad, Bernard, of course.
Het is toch wel anders dan de Skoda waarmee.
It's a different car than the Skoda that I drove before, but that's the way it is. Bit by bit, it's getting better and better, so I'm happy.
200 mètres.
William Wagner,
Quitte car droite pas corde. Quitte
going
car
very
droite
fast
pas
over the
corde.
stages, is in 5th.
Pas corde. Sur gauchy. Il finit ici à les freins, quitte car droite pavé, attention. Gauchy finit.
Wagner's here to prepare for the French Championship, which starts a couple of weeks after the Belgian Rally Championship.
Première fois en Belgique.
It's the first time we drive in Belgium, indeed. I thought it would be very slippery, but it's not as slippery as they are right now.
On prend pas tous les risques.
we don't take too many risks. We're mainly here to prepare for the French Rally Championship and get experience with the car. The championship that starts in 2 weeks' time. He's Guilain de Mévius. Dropped a bit of time. It's still in 4th position, still within reach of the leaders. He's some 11 seconds behind the leading driver after the first loop. Chris Princeton getting to grips with his new Citroën as well. Slowly increasing the speed. Setting a faster stage at the end of the loop.
De auto heeft zeker heel veel potentieel.
The car has a lot of potential, of course, but I need to exploit it to completion. But I think it will happen soon. You can win this for the 6th time here. Is that something that you care for? I don't mind statistics, but it would be nice to win here for the 6th time. I've won 5 now, and I'm sharing the record with 2 other drivers. But I'm not going to take too many risks. I want to be at the finish here and see where we happen. Princeton sharing the record with Snares and Peter Chun. Adrian Furnemont in 2nd position after the first loop. Very happy to have the number 1 on the side of his car.
C'est clair que c'est un beau sentiment.
It's a nice feeling indeed to have the number 1, to have won the championship. But everything starts all over now, and okay, it's nice to have that number 1. It's something I've dreamt of since I was a kid, so I'm pretty happy with that. Guilain de Mévius setting the 2 opening scratches of the rally, even surprising himself a bit. And he's still in the lead after the opening loop of 4 stages with 1.7 seconds in hand over Furnemont.
2 scratch pour démarrer, donc c'est...
Starting with 2 fastest times, it's something. It's a good way to start the season. After that, the others came closer, but we're still leading. So I'm pretty happy with this opening loop. I'll try to keep this rhythm. So these are the standings after the opening loop of 4 stages. De Mévius leading from Furnemont, Princeton, De Mévius and Wagner. We'll see you after the break. Back at the Rally van Haspengouw, the opening round of the Jobfixers Belgian Rally Championship. This is the 2nd loop of 4 stages, and Gilles Pic is still leading the Pirelli Junior standings. He has 10 seconds in hand over Charles Munster. In the M Cup, the lead is for Patrick Deals at the wheel of his BMW 132i. And then the weather plays his part in the course of this rally. Look at how hard the wind blows. This is Glenn Janssens at the Porsche. And even though the camera is on a tripod, it just falls over because of the wind. Very tricky conditions. Still, Gunther Mollens leading the GT category.
Gunther, eerste rally met de 991, hoe gaat het?
Gunther, this is your first rally with the 991, how is it? Well, it's going pretty good. It's better than expected. We had a bit of problem to find the right setup, especially because it's very slippery. So we need to find the right tire choice as well, but everything is going pretty well. Sebastian Bedouet is still in the rally, trying to gain some experience, even though he's out of the fight for the lead. This is just a life-size test now. Try to get a maximum of mileage at the wheel of the car and get confidence back, because it's never good to slip out of the road in the 2nd stage. And we'll try to get some right setups for the future rallies as well. He's De Mévius. He was fighting for a top 3 finish, but in the last stage of the 2nd loop, it goes wrong. He has a double puncture and he loses over 3 minutes, dropping him to 8th.
Des petits problèmes dans le dernier boucle?
Small problems at the end of the loop here. Yes, unfortunately we had a double puncture in the last stage of the 2nd loop. And it was a result of aquaplaning, and we lose a lot of time, I think some 3 minutes, and we're down to 8th. It's the rally. That means that Guillaume Dillet is now up to 7th. He had some good times, Dillet. Still in the running for a top 5 position maybe.
Il reste 4 spéciales.
There's 4 stages to go, but we've done what we came here for. We had it 2nd times, 4th times, and now we have to get to the finish. Vincent Verschuren is trying to increase his speed at the wheel of the VW Polo, but he finds the going not so easy.
De tweede boekel vond ik dat beter.
The second loop, I thought it went better, but still I'm not very happy with the times we set. Now it's wet again, so we'll see what we've learned during the first and the second loop, whether we can get a good setup for the final loop of 4 stages. Gregoire Munster up to 5th now, getting to grips with the Hyundai pretty quickly. Except for this moment, and those amateur photographers are not really in the safest of places. So Munster up to 5th now.
Eerste rally met de i20.
It's your first rally with the Hyundai i20. How is it? It's going pretty well. I think we're 5th now, so that's a good start. Did you expect this? Well, if you consider the level of the competition, not really. I would have liked to have a good rally, but I didn't expect a 5th place. It's the first time I drive the car, and the others they have a lot more experience with their cars. So one of the drivers having a lot more experience than Adrian Furnemont. Still, he loses a lot of time in the final stage of the second loop when the rain comes down hard. And Furnemont was almost surprised in the same way that Sébastien Belleret was surprised. But Furnemont keeps it out of the ditch.
Les conditions météo ne nous aident pas, c'est pas évident.
The weather conditions do not help. When everything goes well, we do good times, but when we make small mistakes, we immediately lose a lot of time. I think had a lot of rain in the final stage, a bit more than the others, and I didn't want to take too much risk. I wanted to stay on the road, but still I lose a lot of time. William Wagner feeling at ease in these difficult conditions apparently.
100 mètres. Gauche 32 finit face à fond. Gauche 32 finit face à fond. 150 mètres. Allez, 150 mètres, ciel à fond. Le ciel à fond ici, 300 mètres. Attention, frein mauvais glisse, quittez épingle droite 1. Frein mauvais glisse, quittez épingle droite 1. Pas corde. Elle glisse en sortie. 200 mètres.
Content d'être 3e, après c'est pas forcément...
We're okay, we're 3rd, we're happy with that, but we're not really here for the result. In the first loop we didn't take any risks, in the second we took some more risks, but still, as I said, the result is not really important. We're here to prepare for the French Championship. Chris Prinson waited for the final stage of the second loop to launch a very efficient attack, and he's now leading.
De 3 eerste proeven van de tweede boekel, daar had hij eigenlijk...
First 3 stages of the second loop you actually needed slicks, but we were all on medium wets. But then for the final stage the rain came down hard, and it was survival. And Princeton survived just a bit better than Guilain de Mévius, who was leading since the start of the rally. Now he's in second, but he's only 1/10 of a second behind Chris Princeton.
Super course pour nous globalement.
It's been a good rally for us. Okay, we were leading the rally, and now we're now in second position. We're almost on equal times. Still a good rally for us. I think. I hope we can win this one, but even though it doesn't happen, it's still a good rally. These are the standings with 1 loop of 4 stages to go. Princeton with just 1/10 of a second ahead of Guilain de Mévius, then Wagner, Furnemont and Munster. Off to the final loop of 4 stages, and Gilles Pic takes the win in the Pirelli Junior Championship, but only by 6/10 of a second, beating Charles Munster.
Het was spanning tot de laatste
It was very close to the last kilometer, but we're very happy to have won this one in front of Charles. It was a nice fight. Dirk de Veur takes the win in the historic championship. Has a good lead over Gino Kennis in the BMW, and Gunther Monnens takes the win in the GT category. Monnens also finishing in 12th overall. And then the fight for the overall win. Sebastian Bedouet is no longer in that one. He finishes the rally but then retires just before the end. Guillaume de Mévius eventually finishes up in 7th. William Wagner was not rewarded for his good efforts, for he had a puncture in the final stage, dropping him to 6th. Still a good preparation for the French Rally Championship, and that means that Vincent Verschuren is now in 5th and ends up in 5th after a difficult rally with the VW Polo R5. Still a lot of experience for the former Belgian champion. A good 4th place for Grégoire Munster in his first rally with the Hyundai i20. No mistakes for the youngster. And Adrian Furnemont had a puncture in the final stage as well. Still, he finishes on the podium. Takes valuable points for this first rally of the Jobfixers BRC. And Chris Prinsen was heading into that final stage with 2 seconds in hand, but had a puncture as well, losing 25 and finishing up in 2nd.
Ja, Chris Prinsen, wat een drama op het einde.
Chris, what a drama at the end of the rally. Yeah, there's nothing to do here. I took the gravel part just like I did before, but apparently there was a bit of a rock that hit the car. I don't know where, but maybe it's the same one that hit Wagner and Furnemont. That's the way it is. It's part of the sport, isn't it? So the win goes to Guilain de Mévius, his very first win in a Belgian rally. And an excellent start to the 2020 Jobfixers BRC for the Skoda driver. And a happy return to the service park.
Incroyable, première victoire.
It's unbelievable. It's our first win. I didn't think that Chris would lose 2.5 seconds in the final stage, but then he had a puncture. Still, we had a good last stage. We had a very good last stage. It's a fantastic feeling. I've been around for a couple of years now, and now I've taken my first win. It's fantastic. So Guilain de Mévius takes it from Chris Prince and Furnemont in 3rd, Munster an excellent 4th, and Vincent Verschuren in 5th. And then it's time for the podium and the champagne. Guilain de Mévius is congratulated, and his dad Grégoire, former Group N world champion, is looking on very proud, I can imagine. And these are the first standings in the Jobfixers BRC. De Mévius from Princeton, then Langenakers class winner in the old Group N, and 3rd Furnemont, 4th Munster in 5th. That was it from the Haspengouw. See you in Spa for the next round of the Jobfixers BRC.